Thank you very much for joining again. And the last time we were able to set up the authentication using services and controllers. We were able to divide things inside their own modules, and then we were able to use them again in our files. And then this time we're basically going to move on to working with the CRUD operations based on users. So thank you for joining. Let's do this. Right, so inside my services, I'm just going to create this user dot service dot js. Okay, user dot service dot js. Then over here I already have my user dot controller. Then inside my routes I already have my user dot routes. Right now we're going to add a few more things. Into our user model. Right now, what are the things that we're going to add? Since we need extra things for our user model, I'm going to go into the user model side. Right, first of all, the thing that we're going to pick out from our users is the description. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go here, and then we're going to say this description. I think this is a little too long, so say disk, and then the disk will be the type. This could be the type string. Okay, be the type string, and then we're going to have we are going to move on to the next thing, that is from. Okay, so where is the person from? And from is basically going to take the type string also. From is basically going to take the type string. Okay, let's bring our colon and save this. Then we're going to move on to the next thing, which is the relationship. Okay, I'm gonna pick relationship. Okay, and then relationship is also going to be a type string. Right, okay, it could be a type string as well. Alright, so now that we have, but relationship, even though it can be a type string, we could also formulate our own type model to deal with it. So we could also change this and also make it a type number or a type string. I mean, it depends on the way that you want to handle it, because if you do it a type number, you're going to do something like an enum here. Right, we're going to set an enum here, and then we are going to do it 1 2 3, and then that's how we're going to handle it on the front end. So 1 could basically be single, 2 would be in a relationship, and 3 would be something like it's complicated, right? I guess that's how Facebook works with years. Okay, so let's do this. So yeah, now that we have this set up, we want to move on to setting up the routes here. So I want to go into the user routes here, and then instead of doing all these things, you want to make sure that we are going to be setting up some routes here. So we are going to say update. So update the user, update user. Okay, then we're going to set up delete user. Right, and then we are going to get a user for now. Right, then if there's any, I'll add extra. So now that we know this, we want to go into our service first, our user.service first, and then we start working with our own functions. Then we use them inside our user.controller. Right, okay. Alright, so what we do is we could basically just start by writing a router, but we need to set up the service first. Then from the service we come to the controller, then from the controller we bring it into the routes. We've already set up the main routes here, so no need to come set it up again. So for the service, here's what we're going to do. Right, for the service, we want to first of all import bcrypt. Okay, so we'll import bcrypt from bcrypt. So we put that in the yeah, okay, I'll just close one of it. Then after that, we can come to the next line and then come and import user model. Yeah, we can import user model, and then right here we can write our export function. So export const, then update. We can export the update user. We can create a function called update user, right? Then we can say it is asynchronous. It's asynchronous, and then inside we are going to pass in the user ID, and we are going to pass the update data. Alright, so what are we trying to update, right? Or the update data, where we are getting it from. So now that we know that we have the user ID and the update data, oh come on, yeah, then we now open up the function, then we start writing stuff. So we say if, so we say that if what, if the update data dot password, okay, if there's update data dot password, which in return would be request our body dot password, then we would try and catch some things, right? So we try and catch the errors here, right? So here we can just throw the error, okay, that we get, and then over here we can say update data dot password is definitely going to have to be await bcrypt, right? We're going to take bcrypt dot hash sync, okay, we're going to hash sync bcrypt, and then update data dot password /10, okay, we have this /10. Alright, then we can go in, you can come here, okay, we can come right under this, okay, and then we can write another try catch block here, and then inside this try catch block what we want to do is this error that we have here, we want to throw it, right? We want to throw this error, okay, so I would say that throw error, and then we save that, and then we come here and then we say const user, right? We want to get this user, and then we want to await the user. In the user dot model, the user model dot what, find and update. So we use the find and update, then we have the user ID being passed in here, and then we now perform our function. So in the function we're going to set, okay, we're going to set, well, now what are we going to set? We're going to set the update data, which is going to be the request of body. So update data, well, it has to be update data, not update. So yeah, update data, okay, so update data, then updates. I need to find everything that has update data inside update, yeah, then I replace it with update. So yeah, how I did that was I if you're on Mac, then command F, it brings that up. If you're on Windows, Control F, right? So yeah, I'm now replacing it with the update data, okay, then you click on this. Alright, so now they have all been updated, okay, so update data, then we set that up, then we just make sure that this section is set to new, so that we get the newly updated user, right? We get the newly updated user data, and then over here we want to send a response, okay, we want to send a response, so that response is just going to return this user, okay, then that's it. As long as we have this, we can just go straight into our user.controller.js, and then we set up the controller here, okay. So what we're going to do here is we are going to export again, export const update user controller. Okay, update user controller async. You want to say async, then you're going to say request response. Oh no, request response. Okay, we have request response. Then inside of this, what we're going to do is try. We're going to try, and then we're going to catch the error, so we can log the error. That is one thing we can do. Okay, and then the second thing is that we can send arrest the status 500, and then JSON. Then we can send the okay. Then what else can we do here? We have const. Okay, user is going to be what we are going to await. Okay, we're going to await, and then we're going to say update this user. You see this update user function that we created in the services, that we took in the user ID and then the request.body. In here we are going to pass in the request.params.id, which obviously is the user ID that we described. Okay, then we pass in the request.body that I mentioned whilst creating the function back there. Okay, so now that we have this, we want to send back a response, okay, in case it's successful. So we say status 200, we say status rest of status 200 JSON, okay. Then inside this we have user. Then over here we have a message, right? We have the message, and then the message object is going to have inside account has been updated successfully, okay. And then now that we have that set up, we want to go into our route here, the user route here, and then we want to set up our route. So what we do is inside this side that we have here, we're going to say router dot put, then we have what, this ID, right? We have this ID, no, but we need this part here, and then we have update user controller that we are getting from our controller here. So we just bring this .js, and I think we also have a similar error in there, so we bring in what, .js, fixes all that. And I think, let me check, I think we have one more, .js. okay, so it fixes all that. Then inside the route again, now that we've been able to set this up, we can just move on. We can just go straight into testing it. So I could open up my mongodb, and then we could open up Postman as well. Okay, so this is our Postman. I'm going to move it into this side here. Okay, looks like my Postman might not want to open. I'm going to take that off. Okay, force quit it, and then start it again. Okay, so yeah, we're going to open up the database. So it's connecting. Alright. Alright, so that it has been able to open. and then things are loading up. So we have the YT social app here, and then we have the users. So let's see the user that we have inside our YT social app. We have Amma. Okay, so as we can see, Amma has all of these. So what we can do right now is, you can see that Amma doesn't have a description. Or what we can do is, let's create a new Amma, right? Let's create a new Amma, and then so that we can have all these parts that we added to it, right? So I'm gonna open up the register user part here, and then okay, then I'm basically going to create Amma again. Okay, so we have Amma inside the database. Let's refresh, and then we see that we have Amma in here. Okay, so now that we do have Amma, how do we add a description to Amma? Okay, so we can come here and then create a new folder, called user. Needs to open up for us to change the name. Okay, but it's not opened up, so we can just create a new request or rename. So I'll rename this folder to user, right? And then over here, okay, it looks like it's going to take some time to load. I think this was logging, right? Okay. Let's delete it and open it up one more time. Okay, so over here we have our update user. We have update user. Okay, we have update user here. Then what we will do is to set this to a put request, right? Then we say that the base URL is basically going to be I'm going to set this and then make this users, and then I'm going to put the user ID in here. So I'm going to take Amma's user ID from here, and then I'm going to put it inside the params here. Okay, then over here I can set the body to raw and then JSON, and then I'm going to add a description to Amma. Okay, then I could say that my name is Amma and I'm a Ghanaian. Okay, so now that I have this, I could send, and then as you can see, a description has been added to Amma. And then for the password side, in case we added a new password or something, or wanted to change our password, it will be possible for us to do that by just adding the password field. And let's say we want to change Amma. I'd say my name is Amma, I am a Ghanaian, and I'm a Ghanaian and I am beautiful. Okay, then for the password, I could change the password to hello there. Nah, let's do it. Amma 1 2 3, yeah. Alright, so I would send, and then you can see that the password has been rehashed again. Okay, so now that we know that this is working, we can move on to other CRUD operations, which is the delete and the get a user, right?